Hi, this is your Athens, Georgia County Weather Girl here tonight to talk with you about the weather. So I've been doing band practice for a minute and happened to log on and not expecting much tonight. And there is in fact a tornado right now in Eatonton. So we're going to kind of zoom in on this area right here. So this is a recently radar indicated tornado, so it's not been observed. We'll see if we can kind of spot it on radar and take a look at it together. So there's our broad rotation right there. It does not look very, very intense. I wonder if we go back in time and look a second ago. So definitely a tornado, but like it just doesn't look like it's super duper. That just could be noise from being so far away from the radar tower. I don't think there's even a signature on this one right now. But yeah, there's some broad rotation. This is in Eatonton heading towards Crooked Creek and Sparta. So if you know any friends that live out that way, I might want to just give them heads up that there's a possible tornado heading their way right now. So heading out to Sparta and eventually up to Washington, Georgia. But I don't know if this is going to survive that long. So it's just one of those things. We had a 5% tornado risk overlay for Athens this afternoon. So not surprising that we have one. I haven't actually I've been practicing for the last couple of hours, so there may have been some other stuff, unfortunately, that I missed. Looks like there's some other tornadoes down south Georgia. Looks like in Bainbridge, in Donaldson, Georgia, and also over in Alabama. So there's a lot of stuff further south in the state. But as far as for us in Athens, not a whole lot going on other than some rain. We'll just take a look at the velocities, the regular velocities, and see what the winds are like right now. So we do have some strong winds, like I would say probably 20 to 30 mile an hour winds right now that are just coming over our area right here in Athens. If you're up in Jefferson, you might have a little bit stronger winds, but not a whole lot to talk about there. I wouldn't be surprised if this winds up going away soon. So this tornado right here, this radar indicated tornado, not been observed. This one right here, it looks like it's pushing around 60 to 70 mile an hour winds, which is not that super duper significant. So a weak tornado if it is in fact a tornado. Well, it's a little bit of tightness. So the last run here brought these the red and green together. So that lets us know that the couple has gotten a little bit tighter. So that's more organization for that tornado. That would be tornado if it in fact is. See, kind of. Oh, it's actually kind of strengthening on this last run. You can see the green getting a little bit brighter right in the center. So we'll keep watching on that. This is not going to affect us, though. It looks like it's just going to head out to a lot of woods, mostly, and probably some houses. And if there are any mobile homes down there, that's a danger point, because it doesn't take much to... I hope everyone who is in that area is paying attention to the weather tonight, because this kind of thing... Okay, it looks like there's a new update here, so let's just take a look and see. Yeah. I just hope everyone who's in the area is paying attention to their phones and to the weather right now, because like if they were in mobile home or RV or something like that, even a very weak tornado like this could still do incredible amount of damage and hurt people. So we don't want that. I just want to say that well, I'll talk about that later once we're past this tornado threat. I was going to talk about just random stuff, but I'll wait for that. But yeah, apart from that, that's the closest interesting spicy weather for us here in the Athens area, and this is far south of us. It's below I-20. So pretty much right on target with the models that they were showing earlier today. It looked like most of this stuff was going to be south of I-20, and the further south you go, the more chances of supercells and tornadoes. I almost wish this thing would like sound a couple times and then stop. So this tornado warning is set to expire in 13 minutes. We'll see if the couplet right here kind of stays together, or if it's on the next scan. If it stays together, I realized too that my my screen is not actually showing what I want to show. Let me see if I can fix that real quick. I'm a genius here, and I just don't use OBS as often as I'd like. I think if I just keep it over here in the right hand side of my screen. So okay, this is the most recent update. There was just another velocities update, and it looks like that tightening that I was seeing on the last frame seems to have dissipated somewhat. You can see it kind of gets bright, and then it gets then the colors start to get a little muted, and there's more separation between the green and red. So we call this broad rotation rather than like a tight couplet where we have the two really bright green and bright reds together, or sometimes they can be bright oranges and really super bright colors, and that means the brighter the color, the more intense the winds are, and the more intense and you have to, those two colors have to be close touching each other in order for them to really consider that to be like a radar indicated tornado. So we'll keep watching here for a few minutes. Hopefully everyone, again, in that area down in Crooked Creek, Lake Sinclair, which actually my dad used to live down here on Lake Sinclair. I don't know how to do an actual lake review. It's been so long since I've been down there. But yes, right now, apart from this this tornado down here, I'm not really seeing a hook echo, the pronounced one here. I guess you could call a little bit of right there, but like it's not really jumping out at you on screen. There's a lot of heavy rains right now that are moving across our area, Watkinsville and north of town, Jefferson, Bogart, heading over to Danielsville in Isla, Georgia. So mostly just rains. Again, I have not been on, so there might have been some other stuff, other spicy stuff that happened in the last couple of hours, but I've not been on, not been paying as much attention, sadly. So this Eatonton tornado warning is set to expire in 9 minutes. We are in a flash flood warning area right now. That goes for a good chunk of South Carolina as well. So all the stuff is moving up to you if you're in South Carolina, happen to be tuning in to Athens, Georgia Townie Weather Girl channel. More than likely, though, you're probably watching another YouTuber right now and not my channel. Let's see what the latest velocities look like here. Which is fine. Some people want a local touch. So again, we're just like broad rotation right now. This is not like getting tighter. It's just kind of a broad rotation right now. I don't know whether they're going to extend this tornado warning further. We'll just have to see what the next couple of runs look like. Oh yeah, it's definitely falling apart right now. So if there was a tornado, and I wonder if we look at the correlation coefficient and see if there's any kind of debris ball at any point in this thing's life. So I don't think this tornado was probably never on the ground. It was just radar indicated, so there's some rotation that was in the air. So but that doesn't look like there wasn't a debris ball with this one. So I don't think this was ever on the ground. And correlation coefficient just kind of measures whether there's objects in the sky. Like that could be birds, honestly. It could be shingles. It could be tree branches, leaves, you name it. So whenever you see a debris ball, it doesn't always necessarily mean that like it's got a house. It could have gotten some trees or some hay bale. You never know. But in this case, there's not even a debris signature here. So this was more than likely never an actual tornado on the ground. It might have been up in the air, but it is no longer. We'll take a look at the other tilts and see, just out of curiosity, because why not? don't think that can change the elevation here, at least not in the version of radar scope that I have. I guess if you have a better version of it than I have, you might be able to adjust that. So some strong winds, definitely. So you have some winds up into the 60s right here, just south of Crooked Creek. And this is a little further up in the atmosphere, so you got some very strong winds. Definitely that. Definitely that. So more than likely they're going to let this tornado warning expire, because it just doesn't look like it's holding together. So it's starting to kind of get more broader and kind of washed out. Sorry, broader and kind of more washed out, and kind of more gray and just not very organized looking at this point. So more than likely this will be allowed to expire in a few minutes more. Set to expire in 7 minutes more. This area is also under a severe thunderstorm warning, so they'll probably keep this severe thunderstorm warning in place. I think that's a good call for sure, but like I don't think they're going to let this tornado warning like continue on. I kind of thought today's storms were pretty strong, but I felt like they underperformed just a little bit, at least in our area. Let's see if there's anything new. Nope, that's it. This is the only tornado on the board right now that's happening in America. Just this one. But yeah, I felt like the first line of storms that was set to roll through today around 2 o'clock, they kind of got here and it wasn't much of anything. And then the second push earlier this evening around 6 or 6:30 was, it was all right. Like some 30-40 mile an hour winds with it, some rain, but like it's just not a whole lot happened with this other than rain. We need the rain, so no complaints at all. I hear there's a lot of, actually I take that back, there were some trees, so like there's enough wind and moist ground. Anytime you have wind and you've got wet ground, it's tree roots and all that, it's a little easier to kind of uproot some of the older ones and the ones that aren't so well. So there were some downed trees over in Oconee County. Yeah, there's no way they're going to let this tornado warning. They're going to let it expire. That'll be it. And this thing is getting out of the useful range of the Peachtree weather. The radar site back over there. I don't know if let's see what else kind of radar sites we have. I guess we have this one over here, but not a whole lot. I sure hope Columbia gets a lot of rain. They need it. Yeah, there's no way they'll let this tornado warning continue on. This thing's falling apart. Yeah, that's really the only tornado. I think that's the only tornado in America right now. Is literally this one shabby looking thing here in Crooked Creek over in Lake Sinclair. It's probably strong. Honestly, there's probably strong enough winds down here. There's probably strong enough winds where you definitely have some branches break off trees, and like I mentioned, like whenever you have a lot of saturated ground and winds up around 40-50 mile an hour, it can definitely uproot some stuff without it being a tornado. And there are definitely some really heavy rains happening right up here, like lots of heavy rains. Sorry, I keep dragging my thing over here to the right, and I realize that that's not viewable for everybody. So there's definitely a lot of heavy rains all across the Lake Sinclair area, Eatonton, all the way up into Madison, and they're just kind of leaving our area at this point. Or some of it's over. We'll be done with the heaviest of the rains here very soon. Looks like we'll have continued rain over the evening hours. Just kind of taking a look at the overall models here, the little map right here. Looks like we're going to have this happen for the next 3 or 4 hours. I was thinking about going out and picking up some supplies for tomorrow. But I don't think I'm going to go do that. I necessarily want to be out in the rain. So I'm gonna just wait. I'm gonna do the live stream until this warning right here is officially expires, which is probably in 3 minutes, unless it tightens up all of a sudden. It doesn't look like it's going to do that. So if there were a tornado, well, I don't know. It kind of looks like it wants to tighten back up right here. So there's definitely some really strong winds with this cell for sure. They may very well go ahead and extend this tornado warning over towards White Plains. They may let it expire, but it's broader rotation, but it's still a lot of really, really strong wind down there. Definitely destructive winds, and that goes with a severe thunderstorm warning they already have. So, That's it. That's the only tornado in America right now. It's just this one little thing over in Eatonton, Georgia. So I hope everyone has been safe, and I hope there's no one's got any trees downed in their yards tonight. So let's take a look at the latest scan and see. So here that really strong wind right here, but there's a lot of gray in between this right here and the green, the high over here. So I would call this, yeah, so just let it expire. So yeah, there's just a lot of gray between the two colors right here, and so that lets us know there's some rotation, but we call it broad rotation, and broad rotation is not necessarily a tornado. It's not going to be a tornado. We'll see those really bright colors right next to each other, as I mentioned before. All right, that's it. I think I'm gonna jump off the live stream. I saw that when I got on my computer, and I thought I'd do a quick check-in. Hope everyone's doing well. Yeah, that's it for now. I hope everyone's doing well, and I'll check in some other time, and hope y'all are all safe and no trees fell down or anything in your houses or cars tonight. And enjoy the rain. We certainly need it. Maybe next week our drought monitor will be maybe closer to normal. I don't know that it's going to be a perfect normal no drought situation on next Thursday, but I think we're going to be inching closer and closer to that with the amount of rain we've received so far. So actually, I wonder what kind of rain we have received so far. That would be a fun thing to look at together. Let's look at it together and see. They've changed all my links around, so we'll see how this does. I don't want the forecast for Athens. I just literally want I want Wonder Map. Thank you. So I'm just going to grab one of the stations that are close to me in my area, and we'll kind of take a look and see what the rain accumulation is like here on the west side. So this says we've only is this in the past? Is this? Let me put my glasses on real quick. I hope I can read this shit better. Is this for the complete full day? That's crazy. So we've only had 0.8 inch of rain today. That's it. I thought we would have had at least an inch or two rain, maybe 2 inches of rain so far. But it says here 0.86 inch of rain. It's not a lot of rain at all. So maybe we'll end up with a little bit more than an inch of rain here on the on the west side, according to this person's weather station. So hopefully we'll get a little more rain out of this. But yeah, as I was saying, I don't expect the drought map is going to is literally going to be that different from what we saw last week. There'll be some improvement. So they just issued a special weather statement for this cell that's just leaving Eatonton. So they're just probably going to say some potential gusty winds, which they are saying here, strong thunderstorms, 40-50 mile an hour winds, radar indicated, damaged tree limbs, blowing around with light, unsecured objects, etc., and so on. So there you have it. All right, nothing to worry about. All right, see y'all on the flip side. I hope you have a good night. Take care. Bye-bye.